Okay, welcome to Fahrenheit Performance Podcast, episode number 82. Elaine Forever Young. Welcome to the podcast, Elaine Young, right?
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so you are a high-level triathlete, I would say. A mom, a coach. You've done KONA twice.
Yes.
You've done Challenge Roth, I think.
Yes, I have.
Yes, right?
Yes, that's right.
Just who are you and what are you doing here in Singapore? You don't sound so Singaporean.
No, so I'm not from Singapore. I have been living here for the last 13 years.
Oh, wow. So same as me. I came 2012.
Same. August 2012 was when I came.
About the same time.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So I always remember my birthday or anniversary in Singapore. It's like national days. So yeah, it's been a while. Almost half my life, kind of. But yeah, I'm Canadian, born and raised in Canada, and I only moved here when I was 25.
Okay.
I know you had Arthur on your podcast a few years ago.
About a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, he and I went to school together. We did long distance dating for 5 years. Then, he convinced me to move to Singapore 13 years ago. Yeah. And I'm still here somehow.
Vancouver, right?
Yeah, Vancouver.
My fourth favorite city.
I lived in
Vancouver.
You've been there?
I lived there for a year.
Oh, no way.
So we were probably living in Vancouver at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I was there most of year 2000.
Okay.
Right?
Yep, Y2K.
49th in Granville, yeah.
I think Arthur would have been there too.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing there, Martin?
Well, Australians, before they turn 30, they're allowed to have a working holiday visa.
You were one of those in Whistler.
I wasn't in
Okay.
I hung out in Vancouver.
Okay.
And so Belinda, my wife, was going to school in LA to do physio. And then I went to Vancouver to try to sort of break into America, right? To get a job in America. I thought it would be easier to interview from Vancouver than from Perth, right?
Okay.
So then I went there and I hung out there for a year. Didn't quite work out because 9/11 hit and then suddenly no one was hiring. So I went back to Perth and then I ended up in grad school in America. And then we stayed in America 10 years and then came here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Vancouver's beauuful.
Yeah, it is.
I'd be interested to see who made the list other than
So
top three.
I've lived in Singapore, Perth, New York, San Francisco, and Vancouver. I guess top 5. I won't give them an order. So, but Vancouver, and I love the city. It's just so nice. And then it's funny, you catch a bus and there's some dude with a snowboard going to the North Shore or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. I love Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you go there?
I think we try to make an effort to go back once a year because I think Arthur went to high school there. I spent my whole life there. So I think we just have a lot of really important people back in Vancouver. And now with kids, it just makes sense to bring them back, the family. Yeah. So we try to spend at least a month there every year. The last 12, 13 years have always been in the summer just because we're at that age where someone gets married every year and you choose the wedding to go to. But hopefully in the next few years we go back during winter and experience like the snowboarding and all that kind of stuff as well.
The one thing that I could never get my head around is in the winter time, in the summertime, you're sitting there at 9:30 at night, just chilling out and the sun is still up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Exactly. It is really weird. And the sun comes up at 5. So I just spent 1 month of my mat leave in Vancouver and every day, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
It's bright out.
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, so you moved here 2012, but you're not obviously a full-time triathlete, right? No. And you're dressed in a nice dress right now. So
just that for you.
You actually have a real job.
Yes.
What do you do for you?
Yeah, so I have a background in tax consulting. So I started off my career in PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, which most people know. But for the last 9 years, I've been working at a FTSE 100 mining company, and I manage their Singapore tax department.
Oh, nice! Wow, so it's not just
it's a full-time job.
It's a real high level, high level job.
I manage like 7 people. It's a global business. So it's quite demanding.
Yeah. You have actually many hats, right? You life coach. You have some sort of role in Elevate. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
And you've got a full-time job, and you train, I don't know, 10, 15 hours a week,
and
I'm sure.
I have 2 kids.
Yeah, and 2 years.
I don't train. So I used to train 15 hours a week, but I think really with everything going on, I think right now it's more like 9 or 10.
Okay.
I think the last 4 or 5 weeks have been pretty good.
Yep.
I managed to get that amount of training in. So let's see if I can keep doing that. But I like to keep myself busy. I've always been someone who's just really interested in learning new things, have like a kind of a growth mindset. I just want to explore new things. So I think, that's why triathlon really appealed to me.
Yeah.
Because I think even like 12, 13 years in, I'm still learning
Yeah.
things, how to do something better, race better,
So
etc.
let's get to that. When did you start? Were you a triathlete in Canada, or did you pick it up when you got here? Or?
No, not at all. So I actually didn't come from a sporting background at all. So my mom was first generation Chinese. So, I was brought up very like quote unquote Chinese traditions, like very much about math and like piano and like, doing the very academic stuff. So I didn't really do any sort of sports until I went to university.
Okay.
And I was just running just to, 5, 10Ks just to keep fit. I didn't actually do triathlon or even know what a triathlon was until I was about to move to Singapore in 2012.
Okay.
Arthur was just getting into the sport.
Yeah.
I think he had a few friends that were starting to do it. He called me a month before I was moving over and said, hey, I signed you up for a triathlon. And it was like the Singapore Tri, I think that happens at the end of September.
Yeah, I think
so I
that's
literally, exactly. So it was that race back then.
Yep.
I told him like, I don't even swim, right? I don't have a bike, right? Like how am I gonna do that? But I think for me, like given who I am, I'm just like, okay, like this is intriguing. Like I could be interested or convinced about this.
Yep.
Yeah. So I landed at the end of August. He bought me a bike that same week.
This
Had to be a purple bike, a pretty bike. I was astounded that it would cost me $2,000.
Oh, that's a cheap bike nowadays,
It was
right?
aluminum bike.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not spending $5K on a bike. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I learned how to swim in the hotel pool that, PwC put me up in.
Did you not know how to swim at all?
Not really. Yeah. I couldn't float. Like, I could tread water, but I was like,
So was it
nowhere close
I
to.
hope it was a sprint.
It was a sprint. Yeah, it was very much a sprint. I really sucked at it.
Yeah,
It was
did you like
horrible.
bobby paddle and hold onto the rope? For
Yeah,
the
I started at the end. Every triathlete goes through with this when they go do their first triathlon is that kind of what do they call it? Like the clothes washing effect, right?
Yeah,
like
and
you can go swim in a pool and feel fine, but once you're doing a triathlon, jumping in with a million other triathletes who can and cannot swim.
And there's an
It's
open
an
water,
experience.
the expanse of the open water, right? You can't
Exactly.
see the bottom, you can't see whatever's going on.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it was all uphill from there.
Did you finish it? The first
I did finish it. And I mean, I think for a lot of people, like finishing something that you didn't think you could even do like a month or two ago, no matter how hard it was, right? That feeling is like, you can't really explain it.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm an addict for that because I was just, okay, what's next?
So straight away you loved it.
I loved it. I loved the feeling of it. I loved the challenge about it. It really appealed to me. So and it was something I could do with Arthur together.
Yeah.
So
Please don't tell me that you podium on your first race.
no, I didn't. And I think for me, triathlon, it was a kind of a late start for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of time to train. I worked a very demanding job being an accountant in a public practice.
And that was quite early in your career.
That was early in my career. I basically just joined. I had to prove myself.
Yeah.
I was working 7 a.m. to like midnight every day.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
And then you got to prove yourself. Why did you transfer from Canada here?
Yes,
Why not?
which is a very demanding work environment in Asia.
Yeah.
Like there is no such thing as work-life balance, right? In Asia. So I think it was quite traumatic for the first few years.
Years.
I really didn't actually start properly focusing on triathlon until I quit PwC actually. Then I found another job where it had a bit more of the right working culture, working environment. I'm quite type A, so I think the working environment at PricewaterhouseCoopers didn't really suit me because if they tell me to do 100 things, I would go and do 100 things, right? So I really knew at some point I had to remove myself from that environment and actually find that balance, which is why I think when I train triathletes now, I understand, right? Like I understand how hard it is. I understand it's not easy. Like a triathlete's calling me going, Elaine, I have to do a call from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Like how do we work around that? I understand that that's not easy.
Yeah, and now you got 2 kids, right? You understand me. Some people don't sleep at night very hard.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, so it's always a balancing act.
And then you and Arthur are the bosses of Elevate, so to speak, right? He is, I guess, the head coach and does all the programs. What's your role? Like, are you behind the books doing all the accounting, or are you actually day to day? Are you out there running as well, or?
So I think it's evolved over the years. I think baseline, yes, I do all accounting because this is my. I couldn't let someone else do that.
Yeah.
But I think I've been involved in many capacities over the last, I think 9 years since Elevate's been around.
Yep.
I think at the beginning is really being that moral support for Arthur, right? When he was starting a new business, completely new out of the army, giving him that coaching, right? That he could do it. That
trust the process.
Trust the process.
See the long game.
Yeah, and I think I also come in from a more business standpoint too, because I come from a corporate environment where I understand how to run a business, what are constraints, how to market, etc., like that.
Yep.
So, I'm always there to kind of give him the idea, right? To go, okay, well, why don't we do it like this? Or how can we approach it in a different way?
Because sometimes
we're kind of partners.
Yeah, if you are so caught in the weeds of everyday stuff, you don't think about the big picture.
Exactly.
Right? And,
exactly.
and then you probably would tell him what to take personally, what not to take personally, and things to let it go.
Yeah.
And things.
And it's a safe space, right? Like not everyone has that.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I'm obviously very vested in his journey. I understand how hard it is to be a one-man show. And so, in early ages, I was helping him with whatever I could, right? Whether it be helping him with social media, whether it was with identifying who could be potential clients, right? Helping to talk to people and spread the word, right?
Yep.
I still remember there was this one track session. When Arthur first started his track session, 0 people came, right?
Yeah.
He and his coach sat there, had everything set up, and 0 people came, right? And so,
it's so easy just to let it go and let's
forget about it. Yeah, so I'm there as a ear, helping him in whatever he needs. But obviously, as Elevate has been much more established now, I think he kind of has such a bigger team, right? So I don't need to get involved in the day-to-day.
Yeah, good.
But in the last year or two, I've been helping him with actually helping coach triathletes, right? And I think I offer a very different coaching style to him. And so I think, Arthur can be... Everyone has different chemistry with their coaches, right?
Well, even if he's he's got 75% of everyone covered just nice, there's going to be an overlap with people that don't quite mesh with his style, right? Exactly. And then if you need to collect those other people, then you make the whole 100%. It's great.
Exactly. So I think I'm quite selective about who I take on because I obviously don't do this full time. But if there's the right fit and I think I can genuinely help someone in their triathlon journey, it's something I'm very, very passionate about as well. And I'm very lucky that there's an Elevate platform for me to help others as well.
So you personally, are you part of his program as well, like part of the Elevate program as well? Are you going the track sessions? Are you doing the same sort of sessions as everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, if I could, I would. And so, before kids, absolutely. I would be at the track sessions, working out with everybody, going to the same open water swim sessions, etc. I think he or she was my coach when I was a beginning triathlete, figured it out together. We navigated it together. He helped me get to my first KONA, right? So he has been my coach as well. But now I kind of just coach myself because there's just very limited time. There's a lot of other people to care about. And I don't always make it out to all sessions because someone has to kind of handle the kids while he's out doing the coaching.
And how long did it take from your first race must have been 2012, that September, right?
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to realize, actually, I'm pretty good at this? And then how long did it take you to realize, I got a shot at going to KONA? When was your real...
Yeah.
Because KONA's long course, right? And your sprint distance in 2012.
Yeah.
So what was the progression there?
It definitely took a while, much longer than I think for a lot of athletes now, where there's a lot of tools and coaches like us to help them. I did my first sprint, as you said, in 2012. I think I did my first half in 2015 in Sydney. Not in Sydney, in Canberra, when there was still a 70-point speed there. In the lake. It was horrible. It was one of those swimming starts where
the city is horrible or the race is horrible?
The race was pretty horrible for me. I think in Australia, all Australians think everything's flat, but it's not.
No, it's just not.
They're it's fine. And then I'm oh my gosh, this is the worst. So I think I finished bottom 10% for sure. And then I think after that, we started talking, okay, how could we maybe think about doing a full at some point in time? But it was still very much just about completion. I hadn't sorted out my swim at that point in time.
How is your swim now?
My swim's pretty decent.
Okay.
But actually that was something where I had to really take accountability and responsibility for. Arthur is a very good swimmer.
Yeah.
And I think when you're paired with someone or your partner is someone who's really good at swimming, they're not going to be, and I say this for a lot of athletes, right? You tend not to focus on the things that you're not good at. You tend to do more of the things you're really good at that you enjoy.
Yeah. Like even studying, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So he was always like, oh, let's go ride. And I'd be like, sure, because I love those things. Yeah. And very rarely would he go, let's go practice swimming. Right? And so it wasn't until we signed up for our first full Ironman, he then bailed on it like 6 months before. He did. Nice. And I was like, oh, crap, right? Like I can't do this on my own.
And you got to swim 4 kilometers, right?
Yeah, I need to swim 4 kilometers. I can barely swim and survive the half Ironman right now, which is 2. So how do I take responsibility over my own training now?
Yeah.
And make sure I cross that line. So I actually did end up getting my own swimming instructor because I think sometimes it's hard for your spouse to teach you. I'll leave it at that.
No kidding.
And I just practiced like 3-4 times a week. Like kept going at it until like it became something that I was decent at, right? And I think it wasn't until I finished my first half Ironman, and I did it in around 11 hours and 20 minutes.
Ironman or
first full? First full. I did it in actually I did it in Basildon.
Yep, nice.
Yeah, your hometown.
Yep.
So I actually was like, wow, I should not bad, right? Like to do it in 11:20. I think I'm quite average at all 3, but actually being consistent in average is actually like the winning formula, I think, for an Ironman than it is being really speedy at any other.
Yeah. Because if you're really good at the swim, or no, really good at the bike, maybe you'd probably put too much energy in it during the bike and then just burn your legs out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's about like really being able to pace really well, right? A full Ironman is just a different beast.
So do you consider yourself a long course or a short course?
I think I am a better long course, but I can do short course as well.
Yeah. Is there any reason why you think you're a better long course?
I think I can go on forever. Yeah, I have the mental capacity to just do mundane things over and over again. And I think it's my job. Probably that taught me that, right? But I am someone who can I can last forever. I can just go on forever. I can suck it up.
So you can do a recovery ride after the Ironman?
Yeah, it's fine, right? Yeah. Whereas I think fast course can be quite explosive. It can be quite a lot of hurt. And I just prefer just that kind of dull pain, blah, blah, blah.
So through your progression through the races, right? Are you do the typical Singapore story of meta sprint series and then you went to a local 70.3?
Yeah, so I started podiuming in those local races like maybe 3-4 years on.
Okay.
I do think really looking back, it was because there was just very few females in the sport at the time. So I won't give myself any credit.
There is still, the ratio is still quite bad.
It's still quite bad, I agree. But yeah, I think I don't do those as much anymore because I think I only have so many races that I can do in a year. So I typically find like 2 or 3 special races that just do those. Yep. But yeah, after Busselton, I was like, okay, like I could be quite good at this. And after podium in meta sprint, all the races, I'm like, I'm actually not bad.
So 11 hours.
Yeah.
11 hours plus, right? So is that a 4-hour marathon?
Yes, under 4 hours.
Yes,
yeah, under 4 hours.
If you can still manage under 4 hours, you're gonna be passing a lot of people in the run.
Yes, yeah. And my cycling was not bad. Like I could do it in like 5:30 to 5 to 6. So I was just like decent in all 3. I can usually do the swim in like under 1:10, 1:15, so like around 2-minute pace. Yep. So yeah, like it's better than most, I guess. Not like sucking at any given one, and I can last, right? Like I usually. For all the Ironmans I've ever done, and I've done 8, I've never like gone to a dead stop.
So you never cramped or bombed or any crazy?
Nothing crazy yet, right? So I think that is like my consistency and just never giving up. Like I think has been like really good.
Yeah. Because it becomes a mental game when it's long like that, right?
It is, and I think truly. When me and Arthur are coaching people to do their first Ironman, we always have to remind them that it's not double of a half. Right?
No.
There is so much like that comes with it, right? And even the training, right? Like with the half, you can afford to skip 1 or 2 workouts. With the full, it's, you have to be so committed, right? If you want to be at a place where you're like, you feel like you've given your all.
You feel like you want to be at the start line ready.
Yes.
Right? You don't want to feel like I could have done this, I could have done that.
Exactly.
You missed that. Exactly. And it's the same goes for a half marathon, right? Half marathon, a marathon is nowhere near like what 2 half marathons feels like. It's so much harder.
Exactly. So, I think a lot of it is more mental than anything in the training as well as in the race itself. So I always tell my athletes, like, we need to get you to a place where you feel like running a 10K feels like a 5K. 21K feels like a 10, and then a full marathon feels like it's just like your average 21, right? And if you can do that,
Yep.
it's good. You could do it. It's like a breeze, right?
Sounds easy, but
Yes. It's all the training that goes into it, right? Yeah.
And then, so you've been to Kona twice.
Yes.
Tell me about the sort of the road to get there and how difficult it actually was. Because they've actually changed the rules this year now.
They have.
To make it more difficult, I think, for the average athletes.
I don't know yet how it will actually pan out, but I did qualify for both Ironmans when it was still quote unquote a little bit easier, right? I think so I started to think about whether I could possibly do a KONA qualification race back in 2017.
Okay.
I think at that point I had probably done 4 Ironmans and I was like doing pretty well. I had, actually no, Korea was my second Ironman.
okay.
Yeah, and that's where I qualified.
Oh wow.
So after Busselton,
then you
I said, okay, you know what? Why not try? And the reason why I decided to try that year was it was the last year before I turned 30. So I think there's an aspect of being strategic when you want to try to qualify for KONA as well. Me being kind of like the average, middle of the pack athlete, I was strong, but I'm not going to be the one like pulling out like a sub 10 hour Ironman.
And triathlons, the long course triathlons, 35 to 55 is where the really good athletes are for some reason.
Yeah.
When you're below 30, it's not the competition is just the numbers. I think is not there. So
Numbers are not there. I think it is expensive to do an Ironman.
Yeah.
I think, people don't. It's ton of like. I had a boss one time tell me, "Oh, isn't like Ironman like a midlife crisis thing that you do? Like, why are you doing one?" Right when I asked for leave. So I think it really is like more like for older athletes because you have to be a bit more affluent. You have to be, you have to have the time and space. Some people are having kids at that time. So yeah, I just thought, why not do this as a goal before I turn 30? Give it a shot. Give it everything I have. I had just started a new job at the time. But I was like, hey, why not? I just like wrote my own plan. Arthur helped me. I was putting in like 10, 15 hours a week. I showed up to Korea, Ironman Korea, like the fittest I've ever been. I think truly still the fittest I've ever been.
That was like your peak.
I did a sub 11 Ironman that year. Came in first in my age group.
Okay.
I think 3rd or 4th overall.
So
in that
so
race.
even with the new rules, you would have still qualified for KONA.
Probably.
Yeah, because
probably.
the first in your age group is automatic, and then there's some ratio or the rest, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it was like a great race, amazing.
So everything went well. Was it like a cooler conditions or was it?
It was colder conditions. Yeah. So you swim in a lake. It was like not like Singapore where it's very hot. The bike was a little hilly, but not like outrageous. Probably similar to Bintan.
Yeah.
And then the run was cool.
Okay.
So I think that helped a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So so what was that? 2018, 17?
2017, I want to say, and then I went to KONA in 2018.
Okay, and so how was that? Was that everything that you expected it to be?
Yeah, it was actually hands down still my favorite race ever. And that year I did challenge Roth at the same time. Oof. So I had a really good comparison, right?
Yeah.
I did challenge Roth in July, and then I went to KONA in October.
Oh god.
So was it what makes it such a great race? Was it the competition or was it the course? Was it the conditions?
I think it was everything. Yeah. Like for me, that was the year it all got pulled together.
So you personally everything was going well as well?
Yeah, right? I think that is still my fastest Ironman.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So also did a sub 11 in KONA. The environment there is amazing. Yeah. And I think, there's so much hype about it, right? Before you go. And it was like absolutely everything that I thought it would be. I met like back then you didn't have T100 where you see pros everywhere.
Yeah.
So like I literally was like seeing pros at breakfast, like going to like breakfast with
you would have got there a week beforehand.
Exactly.
Or something, right?
Yeah. We met so many like wonderful people. All the brands were there. Like there was free gear everywhere. So like and the shopping was amazing. The weather was great. So yeah, it was like pretty great. And then in terms of race conditions, it was one of the best race conditions like I think KONA ever had.
So
I think it was when
windy.
Patrick Lang broke the race record.
Oh, so it wasn't so windy.
No, I did a sub 5:30 bike,
Nice.
which I've never done.
Yep.
So it was like tailwind almost the whole time. The run was hot, like it absolutely was. But I think training in Singapore absolutely prepares you for that. And then the swim was like really, really nice and scenic as well. So yeah, it just all in all was like really one of the most like amazing experiences I've ever had.
So you rate KONA over Challenge Roth? Because April Rice, she's been here before.
Yeah.
She rated Challenge Roth over KONA.
I think they both have their unique like selling points. I always tell people who like probably won't make it to KONA to definitely go for Challenge Roth just because it is pretty close in terms of that race environment, the conditions, the feeling.
And it's a luxury to get into Challenge Roth.
It is.
Not a qualification, right?
It isn't a qualification, so anyone can go.
Yep.
Yes, there is a lottery, but you can most of the time go with like a travel agency and then get a slot through there.
Okay.
So it's not impossible. I think anyone can go if they really wanted to.
Yep. So back then, 15 hours, right? This is all before Haley?
Before Haley.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that was before kids.
Yeah.
Just two working adults all the time on your hands, right?
Yeah, and Arthur was building up Elevate at the time. He had just started when he had just, I think when I went to KONA was when he had already left the army, but just like a few months.
So you were training 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah.
But then now, 2 kids later, what are your hours?
I'm still trying to figure it out with 2 kids, but I certainly with Haley, it's maybe no more than 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did I did do another KONA whilst with 1 child. And that's because I qualified in Langkawi in 2019, right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Was supposed to go in 2020, but that didn't happen. So that kind of got pushed out until after I had kids. So I kind of qualified pre-baby, but had to raise after baby.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was really hard, right? Like I think once you have children, you realize everything's a choice, right?
Yes, yes.
You either choose to go out all morning and race or and train, or you choose to be with your family, and you can't have both, right? And you can chase performance, but you can't be a top-notch tiger mom as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, that was a really big learning experience of like how to find out what to prioritize, accepting that I wouldn't be as fit, mourning the athlete that I was, right? And accepting that I wouldn't be the 18 Elaine racing KONA, and that was okay, and that there was a different definition of success in this situation. And then I think since that race, I've kind of taken a step back.
Okay.
Honestly, from doing full Ironmans, just because I know it's just not like
the volume of training is just more than you probably have.
No.
And you have a benchmark now. 11. Let's just say 11 hours plus or minus half an hour is where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
You know it's going to take they could say 100 units of training to get there. You've probably only got 80 units of training.
Yeah.
So you'll probably do it. You might do it, but you do a 12:30.
Yes.
And would you be happy with a 12:30? I don't think you
No,
would be.
I could be happy with a 12:30, and I think that's what I say to a lot of people too. Like I think if we're always chasing time, then you know you're setting yourself up to be disappointed, right?
Yeah.
Like I think at different points in your life, triathlon does have to mean different things. And then chasing timing might not always be that. And for me, timing isn't, right? Like I'm not going to be chasing a sub-5 half Ironman anymore because I don't have the time to achieve that. So why be unrealistic about it and set myself up to fail?
Yeah.
Right? What could be a better metric is that, I have, done the training that I could, right? I am happy that I showed up as fit as I could be and I executed the race I was capable of.
True.
And if that's a 5:15 or 5:30, that's completely okay. Right? And I did that with my family and everyone supporting me. I'm happy with that.
As long as everyone else is happy and
exactly.
life is good, right? So what are you down to now? 10 hours, 5 to 10 hours a week of training?
The last couple of weeks I've actually been able to manage 10.
Okay.
And
so what does that mean in terms of a week?
Yeah.
Are you doing something every day or?
Yeah. So I think I try to make it a point that my training doesn't interfere with family as much as possible. So my kids are all sleep trained.
Okay.
So they all sleep from around 7 to 8 to around 7:30 the next morning. So I usually get up around 5:30.
Okay.
And
so
I just try to do an hour
early morning before it all wakes up.
Yeah.
In the pool or on the trainer.
Exactly. So I try to get that done. And then I go to work, right? And then I come home and I take care of the kids and I put them to sleep. And I usually then sleep quite early. On the weekend, I'm really lucky because Haley sleeps over at her grandparents' house every Friday. And that's always been a tradition since she's been 8 months. So me and Arthur always have Saturday mornings free.
Yep.
Now with Logan, it's a bit of a juggle. But one change we did make with having a second is that we did get help. With
she didn't have
Haley,
a
we did
helper.
it all ourselves.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that was like a different balancing act, but we managed it okay. Like we just had to take turns basically. But I think what's nice about now having help is, we still try to get back before 7 a.m.
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
But we know we can both go,
Yeah.
right? Because there is just someone who can
there.
like hold down the base if a kid gets up or something like that.
Yep.
So we try to like compromise that way.
Okay.
But I think the bulk of my training then on the weekend is on a Saturday.
Okay. It's like a
And
long
then
ride
Sunday's
or
a rest
something.
day.
There's
Yeah.
no, okay.
And you're quite strict or quite structured with your training. And this is something that I struggle with like a lot because like because today's Monday, right?
Yeah.
This morning I really wanted to go to Natalie's Project 1000, right?
Right.
My alarm went off. I just couldn't get out of bed to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
What was
right?
going on in your mind when?
I was like, it's like my alarm went off at 5, and then I thought, maybe I'll just sleep a little bit, and then I'll get up at 5:20 because I live quite close. Actually, live at Killiney, which is very close to.
So you really have no excuses.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So, what's your tips for staying consistent and like getting out of bed super early when there's so many things that you could be doing?
Yeah. It's hard, honestly. And I know, like, I mean, waking up at 5 a.m. when that's not something you do.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's going to feel hard. I think there's a number of things that I found work for me. It may or may not work for you, but I actually do try to find like running partners that keep me accountable.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's why
Project
I
1000.
that's why I wanted to join.
Yeah, like that's it. So maybe tell Natalie that you're going to be there. So at least she knows that you're coming and you kind of feel a little bit of guilt when you go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I try to like find someone to get up with every morning. This morning was actually Arthur. He told me he'll get up with me. So I got up and I said, hey, let's get up.
Yep.
Right. I try to set everything up the night before. So there's really no excuses of like, time, I don't have time to get this together, etc. And I try to just do like a similar routine every day or every week, right? So Mondays are always a run. Thursdays are always a ride with my friends. Saturday's always a ride. Friday, I always try to get up early and do the Elevate Swim Squad.
Okay.
So I think if you have a consistent routine, which I know not all age groupers have that.
Yeah.
Some people have horrible jobs and they work all different hours. But if you can stick to a routine and be very clear at the beginning of the week what that routine will be, that sets you up for success, right? I think a lot of people are like, I'll just do it tomorrow, right? You push it or you're like, I didn't know that this was going to come up.
Yeah.
And I guess my question to them is like, really? Did you not anticipate that some of this would have happened, right? So you kind of like have to be really like disciplined and plan from the beginning and set yourself up for success
I guess
every
it's
week.
like just like any race, right? You're visualizing it.
Yeah.
Visualize how it's going to go. You visualize what's needed and what you need to pack. And just go over it.
And if you can't do it, find yourself a coach.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing's gonna give you more pressure than your coach saying, hey, like, why is this not done?
Yeah, why
right? And that's why some people come to us, right?
Yeah.
Because they really struggle to find that accountability for themselves.
Yeah, true. They just need someone to tell them what to do and how to do it, even though they could probably do it themselves. But they could just need that extra push.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people want results, right, Martin? Like at the end of the day, like a lot of people do triathlon or do sports to find a result, right? And I think for a lot of people who are time crunched like me, right? What's wonderful about coaches, we take the guesswork out of it, right? If you only have 5 hours, I'm going to make sure that 5 hours is spent as well as it could be, right?
That's pretty good actually, because you don't, like as an athlete being coached, you don't have to use the mental energy of, okay, what am I going to do this Monday?
Exactly.
Okay, Tuesday. You just look at the training peaks or whatever, and it's all like that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. We're like a little bit like glorified PAs a little bit, but we work around people's schedule. We like make sure you have the right balance of workouts.
Yep.
We look at how much time you have in a day and we make sure that works, right, with the workout that you need to do.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of shuffling, communication with our clients to make sure that they have something that's going to set them up for success. But you're right. All they have to do is wake up and say, okay, today I got to do this, right? If I don't do it, like someone's going to call me and ask me why I didn't do this. Right?
Ask me a little text me next.
Yeah.
Next time.
Okay, I'll make sure she does. Yeah, but Arthur does go too, right? So I think if it's just telling anybody, hey, I'm gonna go, being like really intentional and saying you're gonna do it.
Yeah, the first time I did the New York Marathon was like that. I wasn't even a runner, and I did it. I was going to New York to study, so I did the lottery and I got the slot. And I told every single person I knew that I was going to do the New York Marathon. By the time the marathon came along, I told so many people I was going to do it that
Like
I
you
couldn't
could not do it.
Yeah, I couldn't back out, and I could not be prepared and say I did the 6 hour. I had to do it and do it well because Yeah, the pressure is there.
Yeah. So on the record, on the air, Martin is gonna go to the
I'll be
41,000 run.
On Monday, I'll be there.
Okay.
So after all these races that you've done over the years now, is there still a bucket list race that you still want to do?
Yeah. I think Norseman actually is one of them.
Yep.
I would love to do the one in San Fran.
Escape from Alcatraz.
Escape from Alcatraz.
I lived in San Fran for almost 10 years and I never did it.
Never did it. Yeah. So yeah, I think those ones come to mind.
You can do the T100. Do they have an age group?
No, not
T100?
the T100 now. I think the T100 series is quite fun. Like, so, I mean, T100 Vancouver was on my bucket list. When it came out, I was like, I have to do that.
Of course.
But yeah, like, I think because I've been racing for so long,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep doing the same races in the region.
Yeah.
So I tend not to really sign up for those anymore, but I'm always just looking for something new, something different.
Yeah.
And so right now I am looking for a challenge. So, and if anyone has any recommendations,
Well, not going to be something like
cool
Xterra or
races to
something like
do,
that.
I never say never. I could see myself doing Xterra at some point if I can master mountain bike.
biking.
But I'm quite chicken on the bike.
The
I'm
trail
really
running kind
scared.
of, I think we really cool. I like trail running.
Yeah, I think I think I'd be really good at trail running.
Yeah.
But it's the biking that where I think I'm a little afraid.
Is it? I don't know how it is, but I can't be so technical. The cycling, it's just on gravel roads and stuff.
I think it is because Arthur's been doing Xterra.
Oh, he does?
Right?
Okay.
He's been doing, I think he's done 3 or 4 now. And every single Xterra, from what I understand, has a very different bike course and it's very different in terms of technical.
Yeah.
I don't know if he told you, but he went to the one in Japan and didn't finish because it was so hard.
He told me that he just done a race he didn't finish. He didn't say
Yeah, it was
Xterra.
Xterra Japan, right? So that was one where no one finished.
Oh,
it
God.
was that hard. Yeah. So I think I would never say never because I'm always looking for a new challenge. But for now, I think there's enough challenging things in my life. Yeah.
So I had Leanne Siko from Hong Kong on the podcast before.
Nice.
And you and her have this thing in common where every single photograph of you racing, you're smiling like a biggest smile in the world, right? Is that just because you enjoying the process so much? What like how do you, like, for me, if you ever see me a picture, like, I'm probably like, my face is like, oh, at least I'm half dead, but you guys seem to be like happy all the time.
I don't think I'm happy all the time. I just have a really bad RBF, which is also why I try to smile whenever I see cameras. But I genuinely feel like racing is one of the most special things you can do. We're also lucky to be able to go out on the race course and execute a race, right?
True.
No matter how badly you're training, no matter how well your training is, you know, how lucky are you to be spending like 5-6 hours of your time doing a race, having all this time to yourself, not being at your desk. Like, there are a lot of worse things that I could be doing.
So if I turned up to your workplace and took a photo of you at the desk, you're not going to have that big smile on your face the same way.
No. And that's because I'm really focused at work and I do have this like very fierce look when I'm racing. But no, I find like racing and triathlon and sports is kind of my escape, right? It is my me time. It is the time where I can be the most myself. So yeah, I'm genuinely happy. When I'm doing it. And I think Leanne is too.
She is very happy all the time. So what keeps you motivated, right? Now you have 2 kids at home. You've sort of accomplished a lot. And whatever race is on the horizon, right? What makes you keep going for these just future races now that you've sort of done everything that you need to do in the sport, right?
I don't think I've done it all yet, right? And I don't think I'm done with me, right? I think I'm a true believer that we are all like capable of so much more. And the person we are tomorrow is like still going to be this very different and more amazing person, right? And I think if anything, that's where like I think my story is, right? Like I've always just been open-minded to trying new things, doing new things, and I've grown so much from doing all of that. And I truly look forward to like, okay, what else is next that's going to challenge me? I'm kind of in a weird place right now where I've just had the baby. Like the last few years I've been about, okay, let's have the baby, let's get back to fitness, let's do this. So it's been very, very clear what that next challenge will be. I'm at this place right now where I'm not quite sure what that next thing is. So I am taking a moment to really figure it out and being selective, right, about what
So let's talk about that for a second. You had Logan, 4 months ago? Or
6 months ago.
6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
But you did T100 like 6 weeks 8 weeks after.
Yeah.
So how was that? How was that a real struggle? Was the training a struggle, or was the race a struggle, or both?
I think it was not a struggle. It was, again, like, it was like a great, like, I was so appreciative of the opportunity to do it. I had no expectations that I was needing to podium or have a certain time. For me, it was just like, how can I actually just go back out there and start doing the things I love again, and not have these circumstances define me, right? And it's possible, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Because a duathlon was just a 5K run, 20K bike, and 5K run.
Yep.
So I was like, I don't know how fit I am. So I was just like, surely I can walk this and finish it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I can just do that I should celebrate that, right? To my point about just redefining what success is.
Yeah.
I think what is hard is that at that point in time, you're still not yourself, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have tri-suits that fit me, right? Like, I am still actually breastfeeding, right? And so there's a whole different schedule of bodily changes that you have to navigate.
And your hormones are different, and your body shape is
right?
different.
Just to even start the race, right? It's a huge, it was like, I think a 4 a.m. start, 5 a.m. start.
Yeah.
And they get up like half an hour early than everyone to like pump, like sort your stuff out, to figure out what you're going to do. I've never exercised for so long without like non-stops and not knowing where I would land.
Yeah.
Didn't help that I then crashed on the bike as well on top of that.
Nice.
Figuring out who would take the kids, because Arthur was also racing. So I think
yeah.
it's just more, there's just more things to think about.
Yes.
It's not as straightforward as it is without kids. But there was no question in my mind that it could be done. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be done. It's just how you do it.
How much do I want to do this?
Yeah, how much you want to do it, right?
Am I going to do it? Yeah.
So, do you do anything special nutrition-wise, in your general life and during races now, or even before? Because you're very busy, right? Are you eating mocha meals, or are you thinking of, okay, I need to have more carbs or more vegetables or whatever?
Yeah. I think I'm conscious of what I eat, but I'm not very strict.
Okay, you're not weighing your food.
No, I think me and Arthur really love food, and I'm not like the leanest, meanest athlete out there, right? And for me, that's choice, right? Like, I could be totally like
Skin and bones,
doing exactly what the book says, only eating protein, like, X, Y, Z. But I feel like triathlon is one part of my life, but also just enjoying your life is also equally important. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So like before races, I do like watch what I eat. I tend to like to eat healthy food anyway, so that's fine. But I don't stop myself if I want to have a glass of wine, or I want to, go eat something guilty.
Double ice cream.
Totally, all the time, right? And I rather race happy and fit and, loving every aspect of my life and feeling everything came at a compromise.
Yeah. You don't want
performance.
to, like, even if you have a great performance, if you've sacrificed more than you willing to sacrifice, it doesn't feel as good.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. There's more to me than just performance from a time and what people define as traditional performance.
Tell me this: you wear many hats, right? You'll work as a life coach, right? What does that actually mean? Like, what is a life coach? Is it people that need direction, or is it what are you doing as a life coach?
Yeah. So I think, if I had to put it in terms that like kind of like sports coaching, right?
Yeah.
Just as you need someone to guide you to like learn how to do a triathlon and what to focus on, etc., and to be your partner in that journey, I'm that for like all aspects of people's lives, right? And I think it really goes quite well actually with sports coaching, because a lot of times when you're coaching athletes, you realize that when they're not following their plan, right? When they're not performing the way they want to, there's something else going on.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Whether it's issues at work, family challenges, relationship challenges. So why is it that you wouldn't also have someone who partners with you in those areas, right? To help you, one, identify things that are holding you back, right? Whether that's mindset, whether that's routine, right? Helping you redefine what's purposeful in your life. I think a lot of people, they are on autopilot.
So it's not necessarily sporting related at all.
Not at all.
It could be just a CEO that wants to know, what the next step should be. You wish you should take this job or not take this job.
Exactly. So a form of life coaching is executive coaching.
Yeah.
Right. So for people who are in the corporate world, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it could happen outside of the corporate world too. So it could be, for example, I work with moms who feel like they can't find their own space.
Yeah.
Right. And they struggle to give themselves permission.
Yeah.
To work out, to find themselves, to find their identity again after doing work. It could be some of my own athletes who, they want to find performance in sports, but they also have these dreams of doing something of their own, starting a new business, etc., but hadn't found the courage to.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes it's about creating that balance between the two, right? Too. Because as much as we focus so much on like, what workout do we need to do? How do I get myself fit? Right? There's undeniably a mind-body connection when it comes to performance.
Yeah.
Right? And if you haven't sorted out your mind.
If your mind is somewhere else, the workouts aren't going to be processed as well. The race is not going to go as well. And nothing.
Exactly. Right? Or you're just exhausted from work because you're just given all your energy there. You can't get to your workouts. What's happening? Right?
Yeah.
Or you're going through a major life transition. Right? And you can't actually execute your races the way you used to. I see it all when I'm looking at an athlete's progress towards
It's a
a
good
race.
balance, isn't it?
And I'll always be the first one to go, hey, what's going on, right? Like and it works so amazingly because for these athletes where I'm both their life coach and their tri coach, I can be like, hey, like, what is it that's happening?
Yeah.
Right? How do we reprioritize? And maybe sometimes it isn't going to be your race, right? And how do we find that balance that you want, right? How do we work together to create something that works for you?
Yep.
Right. So yeah, like it's really quite nice.
That could be a whole nother podcast.
Completely. Yeah.
Together, right?
Completely. Yeah. But I think it's all very similar because it all goes back to like helping people find their full potential.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not just in a race, but just in their life.
So what next for you? What's your 5-10 year plan? Are you just keep doing the races? Are you what do you want to do for the next?
It's a really good question. It's something I'm thinking a lot about actually.
Okay.
I don't have all the answers to that. But I think what I do know is that I definitely will still be very active in 5 years, whether I still racing Ironmans or doing something completely different. I don't know.
High rocks.
High rocks? Yeah, I'm going to do my first high rocks, I think.
Oh, really? You are?
Solo. I'm going to do solo in November. It's intriguing.
Yeah.
But I definitely will be active. And that will still continue to be a very big part of my life.
Yep.
But I know I will be continuously, as I have always been, like trying to learn something new, grow myself, etc.
Yep.
And I think in terms of where we'll be, I'm not sure. Yeah, but I'm actually really open. I'm actually open to everything.
Are you guys set on being in Singapore for forever, or would you consider moving back to Vancouver one day?
I think I would consider moving myself back to Vancouver at some point in time.
Yeah.
I think in the immediate future, Singapore is our home. It's easy with the kids. I love the multicultural, like schooling environment that they get. You just don't get that in Canada.
And safety-wise,
everything.
You don't have drug addicts and alcoholics totally in the streets.
Exactly. So I think this is a really nice setup that me and Arthur have. We have a great community. We do the sports we want.
Yep.
We have the space and time to do the things that we love to do. So I don't think I see myself leaving so quickly, but I'm always looking forward to see like, okay, how can I be moving towards in that direction of like maybe moving back to Vancouver one day.
Or when Logan's a teenager or something, right? You've got a junior high. You don't have to worry about him so much.
Exactly. And I think a question I asked Arthur a few years ago is, when you're old and you're dying, right? And you're sitting, and it sounds so morbid, but you're sitting in an old folks' home. Like, who do you actually think are going to come visit you?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right? And I think the reality is a lot of those people are in Vancouver, right?
Well, not so far in the future. Now that your parents are probably 70 years old, right? You don't want to be sitting here while they get older, right? That's the situation I'm in. Like my parents are 78 and 80 or 77 and 79 or something. And they're not going to live 10 more years. If they do, it's great. But and I've lived outside of Perth for longer than I've lived inside of Perth, right? So it's getting to the tipping point where I kind of got to spend more time there. For me, it's a bit easier because it's a 5-hour flight. If I leave now, I'll be there for dinner, right? But for you, 18 hours later, you arrive, right? So yeah, you're gonna get to that tipping point where you gotta work out your parents' age and how you're gonna sort of juggle that, right?
Yeah. And these are big life decisions. So like if I eat, I work with a coach, right? To help navigate some of that and really find clarity, right, in how I think about it. But it's a tricky situation for Arthur and I because his family's here and my family's in Vancouver. So I think we have that dilemma, like no matter where we end up. Okay.
Anyway, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Elaine Forever Young or coach.me.elaine?
I think either will work.
Okay. Elaine, thank you so much for coming in. We'll catch up again. If you will be there on Monday for Project 1000, I'll be there on Monday.
Okay, well, either way, I look forward to seeing you there. Everyone, he's going to be there, so I look forward to that.
Actually, 6 o'clock Monday morning when Project 1000 is the same time that this is going to be live.
Okay.
So
great.
I'll listen to it while I'm running.
Okay, fantastic. That sounds like a plan.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.